What's liking, people of the world? It is I, Rahul Mancho. Another beautiful message for you today. That being said, let's get started. Throughout history, throughout mankind, from the beginning to now, we have been taught that your father is the problem. You know, we have everybody glorifying and saying shit like, your father's a deadbeat. He was never there. XYZ. This and this. But no man ever looks at life from the perspective of a man. No one does, right? Because as men, we are put on this earth to create and to protect women. So it becomes a cultural thing, right? What do I mean by that? For example, I watched a video where this guy was on the streets attacking. He wasn't attacking, but he was being attacked by this lady. The lady walked up to him, talked some shit. I don't know what he said, but she insulted him. He let it go. I believe he was a homeless dude. He let it go. She insulted him again. He let it go. She hit him. He let it go. She hit him the second time. He let it go. And then, just like every man on this God's green earth, we all have a breaking point. We all have a point where we say enough is enough. And then now, before I continue the story, I want to say this. While he was doing this, while he was being abused and doing all this, enduring all this abuse and disgrace, if you might say, being shamed for whatever he is, all the men behind the scene were laughing. When she smacked him the first 2 times, they were laughing. Nobody, none of them said, yo, 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 leave that man alone. Nobody did. Everyone was laughing. It's all fun and games when it involves a man. When a man is being abused, it's laughable. Nobody applauds it. Everybody applauds the fact that that man is getting beaten up. But then once a man becomes a man, when he invokes the God in him, the circumstances change. Now back to our story. When that guy had had enough, smacked the shit out of a woman, boah. Now, here comes all the men running to her rescue. Because again, I don't fault them, because that is how it is in our biology. That's how it is in our genes. That is how it is from the beginning. God created us to protect woman, to protect everything on earth. God gave man the power. So that is why a woman can walk up to a man and smack him, and everybody will laugh, because we know deep down inside that we are stronger than her. So it's like, when a little baby comes to you, kicks you in the shin, even though it hurts, but you just laugh and laugh and laugh. But if the baby keeps hitting you, goes over there, grabs a hammer and hits you in the shin, eventually you're going to punch the baby in the fucking face. It's not because you're a wicked person. It's because you've gone to that place, that threshold of abuse. It's not funny when the woman gets smacked. It's funny when the man gets smacked. It's funny. Everybody laughs. And then if you somehow manage to lose that fight, it's even worse. Because that's how we have been raised. Now, there's a change in the air. Things are happening. There's a revolution. Men are standing up and saying, we have feelings too. We are emotional creatures too. We have just been taught from the beginning of time to control that shit. But women, on the other hand, have never, right? You never hear a woman say, I was wrong. It takes a miracle from God for a woman to admit that she was wrong. And before she does, she's going to find every excuse in the book to blame it on you. And when she blames it on you and you flip it around and blame it on her, and then eventually, somewhere down the road, she might say, might is a magic word. She might say, oh, I was wrong. But most of the time, the man has to say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's put it aside. You win. Let's get back to this, what I was talking about. While she was doing that, nobody, all the men standing in the background, nobody came up to her and said, listen, I understand that you're mad. I don't know what you're mad about. But you have to understand to leave this man alone. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he's homeless. It doesn't matter if it's a nobody to you. It doesn't matter if you don't respect him. At least respect him enough not to insult or assault him. Because when he hits you, it's different. Nobody walked up to her and gave her wisdom. Nobody did. Everybody was in the background laughing and giggling because it's funny a man is getting assaulted. And then when he snapped, now everybody wants to jump on this man. Why? That's a question. Why? Because you've been programmed to think that man's feelings don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So that's why, as we started, I said, your dad was never the problem. My father told me this thing once. He said, no man is created wicked. No man is created evil. Somewhere down the path, somewhere down our paths, somewhere down the road, we choose which path to go. Some people have enough and they act out to make you walk the mile that you have given them, to make you walk the mile in the same shoes you've given them, right? Not everybody on God's green earth is born with the, I am going to turn the other cheek rule. No. Some people are actually an eye for an eye type of people. And those people, if I'm being fair to those people, most of the time those people are the ones that don't react, right? You come and smack him, he say, okay, you know what? You got one on me. You smack him the second time, he says, okay, cool, you got two on me. And then the third time, when he realizes that you don't seem to freaking comprehend that he is trying to be peaceful, then he brings out the opposite of peace, which is violence. And that's not the energy you want. When somebody that is peaceful becomes violent, you have to realize that a person that is peaceful is just as chaotic as he who runs around running their mouth. The difference is that person has the spirit of God in them to say, you know what? I'm gonna seek peace first. Those people, you leave them the fuck alone. You really do. You walk up to some dude or girl, smack him, pow. And he or she just looks at you and smiles. If I were you, and if you're watching this video, if that ever happens to you, if you ever become in that predicament, run. Or just say, you know what? Damn, dude, my bad. I don't know why I did that. Don't be like the rest of the fools where they're like, oh, I want to see how far I can go. Because when that person loses their cool, you will see the wrath of God. You will see the other side of the sun. Now, let's bring it back to how we started, shall we? I say your father was never the problem. When was the last time on God's green earth Did your mother ever sit you down and say, son, daughter, listen, the reason why your father is not around is because I messed up. He didn't like it. The reason why your father is not around is because I was disrespectful to him. The reason why your father's not around is because when he was giving me all his all, I was whoring around. The reason why your father is not around is because I slept with his brother. The reason why your father's not around is because I fucked up. When was the last time a woman told you that? They don't. Because guess what? The cross on earth is for a man to carry. The cross, again, the cross on earth is for a man to carry. And some men bear that cross and they carry it. And some men will rather run away from their family than deal with a freaking hateful woman, a vindictive woman. Even in the Bible, it says, right, in the book of Proverbs, it says it's better to stay in the corner of a house than with a quarrelsome woman. King Solomon wrote that. And he's supposed to be the one of the wisest people to ever walk this earth. And he said that. And he had 700 women, wives. And he wrote that. He said, rather stay you in the corner of a house in an attic than deal with a woman that is quarrelsome. Now, you grew up, your father was never around. And all the tales you ever heard was how awful he was. How he's a deadbeat, how he didn't do shit, how he's not man enough. But never once did your mom tell you that, nah, the reason why this man became that, because I pushed him to a limit where he could not take it anymore. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be out there and say, no, but you should be a man and face the world. Fuck no. That's what you've been taught. That's what you've been taught. Like I'm supposed to sit here and endure abuse because God created me first and gave me all the strength. No, it doesn't work like that. At the end of the day, in the beginning, God said he's going to create a helper for man. So he created woman, a helper, not a stress inflictor. No, he said a helper. Someone that helps you is supposed to understand the angles at which you look at the world. Someone that helps you is supposed to understand why you do the things you do. And if they don't understand why you do the things and the way you do them, they ask, like, hey, I noticed that you wrote on the board 2 plus 2 is 7. I look at it, I've never heard 2 plus 2 is 7. Why did you write that? And guess what? That man will be happy to take the time and explain it to you, because one is respectful. It means that you respect what he's doing, you respect his job, you respect the opinion, you respect what the angle at which he's looking at life. And you sit down and take his time and educate you. And at the end of the day, you might not agree with him, but at the end of everything, he's going to educate you why he said 2 plus 2 is 7. But most women don't do that. Most women will go to their friend and say, man, this guy is dumb as fuck. I can't believe he thinks 2 plus 2 is 7. But they have never asked the guy why he thinks 2 plus 2 is 7. No, they just conclude that he's stupid because he's seen the world somehow different from them. And they go and tell their friends. You go and you tell the world how stupid the one you claim to love is. That is not love. That is control. That is manipulation. That is a tactic to shame somebody into caving. But then you understand, like, there comes a time when everybody can only abuse that so much. Now your child grows up for 18 years, right? Your child grows up, boy or girl, and in their head, you've programmed to them that their dad was nothing. Their dad was a piece of shit. Men ain't shit. That's the narrative now. Men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. Well, we don't need men in the world. And for 18 years, you grew up with that mentality. And then when you leave the house, guess what? You become the manifestation of the seed that your mother planted in you. So now when you meet a guy, the first instinct is to defend yourself and say men ain't shit. But that guy has never done anything to you. That guy has never done nothing to you. Now you're already defensive. Then now not only do you invoke the negative side of him, but everything he does from now on, deep down in your subconscious, you believe that it ain't shit because someone told you man ain't shit. Have you ever asked your dad his side of the story? I am sure he will tell you his side of the story. Ask your dad, sit him down. He's human just like you. Don't fear him. Now they say fear your parents, but fear is just in a sense of respect, right? Yeah, just like they say, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. It doesn't mean you should be afraid of God. No, God created you. He knows your every moves, right? So why should we fear him? Don't fear him. Be respectful. You know that he's the creator. And when shit is going wrong, there's a reason why it's going wrong. Now, that's easier said than done. But you also have to understand that in the scheme of everything, he is, he was, and he is still. And so are you, right? Because we are beings that have lived on this earth for a long time. We just come back and then we have, amnesia, whatever. You forget shit. So you come back on earth to remember who you are. We're all created in God's image, right? It doesn't say God created us from something else. Created us from his image. So you are God. You're not the God, but you are God, right? So now let's not stray too much from what we're talking about. Now, if you ever ask your father the side of the story, I guarantee you 99% of the time, right, your father will still try to protect your mother because he understands that amongst all the chaos that is going on, you're still the image that him and her created. But it's never always true of the opposite is never always true. Women will bluntly tell their children how shitful their father is. That is just the truth. But if your father is honest enough someday, he opens up to you. He will tell you some shit about your mother that you be like, damn, she never told me so. Why didn't she tell you so? Because nobody on earth wants to look bad, especially women. No woman ever says, I'm going to go out there and say I was wrong. Fuck no. Why? Why would she be wrong? No. Why would a woman ever want to be wrong and save herself some embarrassment and be embarrassed in front of people? Fuck no. That's a man's job. That's a man's job. Men, we don't give a fuck, right? At least so we've been told. So we grow up in that light. You embarrass yourself, your father says, dude, you fucked up, man. But guess what? Next time you got this. Women don't do that with women. Women will say, we are smarter than men. We use both of our brains. They don't. But it's not true. We just learn how, from a young age, our parents, our dads, teach us accountability. You fucked up? Okay, you go over there and apologize. You went over there and stole from the neighbor? Why? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go over there. We're gonna take whatever he stole back to him. We're gonna ring his doorbell. I'm gonna stand here just for protection, just for higher presence. And then you are going to apologize and tell him you never do it again. And if you ever do it again, I'll kick you in the fucking jawbone. Straight up, right? And that's how a man is caved into this world. You're accountable. You're responsible. Your actions and their reactions, you take care of that. But no, women are not the same. I mean, if you take a father, right? A father of two. Let's pretend we have a father of two and he's got a son and a daughter. Same age. They are twins. He treats the daughter differently from the son. He can cuss out the son at any moment. But he turns to his daughter and be like, hey, listen, don't do that again, okay? It's because it's in our DNA to protect women. And honestly, the only thing a man actually ever wants from a woman is support. It's support. Like you and I against the world. Man, when you find a woman that can believe in that saying, it's me and you against the world, Bonnie and Clyde. Why do those stories last for a long time? Because that woman said, you know what, if we're going to go rob shit, we're doing this shit together. If we're going to die, we're dying together. They don't make women like that no more. Nowadays, you're broke in front of your woman, she finds the next guy. We don't give time for our fruits to bear no more. Now, I'm not going to come here and be naive and ignorant and say every woman is that same. No. Most women are. Right? Because most women, what do they look for? For security. They want to know that, okay, my children and I are safe. Yeah, which is great. Who doesn't want that? We think any man in this world just wants their children to not be safe. No. But we also understand that in the process of becoming that which you seek, it takes time. It takes time. If you put a seed in the ground, it doesn't just grow overnight. It takes time. Now, let's not stray again, but your father was never the problem. They always say your father was abusive. No, it's not. For every action, there's a reaction. Why was your father beating your mother up? Now, I'm not here to say I condone violence. No. At some point, though, you have to ask yourself the question, but why? If you have a student in the class that is always coming to school with a bloody eye or a bloody nose, and you ignore it the first 3 times, at some point you have to ask that student, why? Why do you always have a bloody nose? Why is it that when I was young and every time you speak to daddy, he flips out and smacks you in the face? Again, I'm not saying that's correct. That's the right thing to do. No. But at some point, if your mom is honest with herself, she will tell you, I fucked up in the past. And he never forgave me. Or maybe he forgave me, but he never forgot. And so when I say some shit, I trigger something in him that brings out the worst in him. Because to be fair, there are some women out there that their only sole purpose on earth is to bring the worst out of you. They bring the worst out of you, like they talk shit in front of you, in front of your friends, in front of your peers. They make you feel, they belittle you in front of your peers. They make you feel small in every possible aspect they can. And everything, no matter what you do, is never enough for them. And so when you react the way you react. If a man did the same thing to you, then you are labeled an abuser. Now your child grows up thinking, well, my dad used to beat my mom every night. He was a drunk who just stayed at home and beat my mom every night. No, no. Again, I might be naive and say because I'm a man in XYZ, and so I'm going to choose men to protect him. No, it's not that. It's that for the longest time, we have been taught to sweep the feelings of every man under the rug. Sweep it under there. Man up. What they always tell you to do? Man up. They don't say woman up. They say man up. You get bullied in school, you come back, you tell your dad, what does he say? He says, man up. Go back and fight. And everybody's definition of man up is different. That's why people shoot up schools. Because somebody has told them to man up. And they think, okay, that's how I know man up goes. My definition of man up is. There's a story about this guy who, at his funeral, his wife confessed and said, oh, their relationship was bad because she used to sleep with his brother. Now, while he was alive, she didn't bring that up. She didn't. She only brought how abusive he was. You see what I'm saying? She only brought the fact that he was always abusive. But she never said, yo, I fucked his brother. And that should break any man's spirit. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you are. That should break any man's spirit on God's green earth. The fact that your own significant other will sleep with your own brother, or vice versa, man or woman, right? But we'll never bring that up. We go on TV, we say how men are all these things, but we never actually say why he is the way he is. So the next time somebody says, your father, or the next time your mother says, your father is XYZ, you should ask her, what was your contribution? What was your ABC? Because again, like my father said, no man or woman is born evil. It means you got to tell me like the creator was bored and said, you know what, you know how selfish that is? That you say you're going to create somebody to just come on earth and be wicked. It means that person has no choice to be good even. That person's going to come on earth and just be mean to people. That's a lie. I refuse to think the creator is that shallow. I refuse that. I don't care. I would go to my grave not believing that. The creator creates everybody equally and gives everybody's fighting chance, everybody a unique journey, right? It's between your journeys when you get to that intersection in your life where you go, you can say red pill or blue pill. And at the end of any of those pills is who you are, right? Who you chose to be. But it doesn't mean like if you go blue and then all of a sudden God gives up on you. No. It's for the greater good or the greater good. That's how it goes. But I refuse to believe that some people are just born wicked. No, I don't think so. It doesn't work like that. I refuse to believe that. And everybody has a trigger. And don't be that person that triggers it. Right? I'm going to say this again. Maybe your father did the best he could do, but your mother was ungrateful. Maybe your father did the best he could do, and your mother will always compare him to somebody else. Maybe your father was always around and trying to be the best that he could be, but your mother, all she did was bring him down. Maybe your father is actually the greatest person that you never got the chance to be around. Maybe your father is the reason why your life is all fucked up. Now you might say, no, 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 no. Don't blame. No, maybe your father, because every parent plays an important role in their children's life. Both parents are necessary. Was the thing? I'm looking for the word. It's not coming. But most strippers, right? If you see a stripper or porn stars and all this stuff, what do they always say? They have daddy issues. You think it's a coincidence that they all have daddy issues? No, it's because maybe somewhere in there they were taught that fast money is good money. But your father will tell you, listen, hard work pays. Give yourself some time to grow. Not saying that your mother doesn't teach you that. No, but your father is the reinforcer. Your father is the example that you see every day. He goes to work, works his ass off, comes back, and do it again. And he does the best he can do. But you miss that experience because your mother probably never wanted that. She wanted a fairy tale. She wanted a fairy tale she was sold in Hollywood. And guess what? Most women never get that fairy tale. Not because they can't, it's because they are too busy fighting the process. They are too busy fighting the moment. They are too busy fighting the creator. And that is the worst thing ever. Again, that's exactly why King Solomon said it's better to stay in an attic of a house than with a quarrelsome woman. And so maybe your father's not around because he said, you know what, fuck them kids. Fuck you and your mom. It's not a laughable matter, but that's the truth. That's the truth. Most women have no concept concept of what men actually go through in the world. Because a woman's life cycle, I don't want to say it's a rainbow where everything is just given to you. No. Women work to their to the best they can. Now compared to a man, no. Things come to you much easier. I have to go out there and create a name for myself. You don't. You really don't. Listen, if you just took care of yourself, if you just took care of yourself to the best of your abilities, everything will fall in your lap. Everything will fall in your lap. But a man doesn't do that. A man has to go out there, open a plethora of doors before he finds the right one. And all he ever asks is to have a woman that can say, babe, listen, you opened the first 5 doors and you didn't see shit over there. Try the 6th one. Damn, there's nothing there? Let's try the 7th one. Nothing there. Okay. Let's try the 8th one. Ah, shit, we found gold. That's all a man ever wants. Your beauty is awesome, but your beauty is going to fade away. Even in Proverbs, it says that your beauty is going to fade away. But what's next? If all you rely on is your beauty, when it fades away, what you going to be? Nothing. But your beauty never fades in the eye of a man that loves you. I say that again. Your beauty never fades in the eyes of the one or the man that loves you. It never does. But if you are beautiful externally and you're a beast internally, it fades away really quick. real quick. Real quick. Your beauty fades away in a snap of a finger. Have sex with you? Good. Okay, I've conquered that which I wanted to conquer. Now move on to the next door. Open the next door. But if you're beautiful externally and beautiful internally, that's glorious. That's glorious indeed. And every man will work the hardest to give you the life that you deserve, to give you that princess fairy tale life that you're looking for. It might not be how you see it, but if you change your view just a little bit, the scenery changes. If you say you want to be a billionaire, but you don't get to be a billionaire, you live the style of a millionaire, it's still great. Change your perspective. Look at life from his point of view. And I swear to you, he's going to look at life from your point of view too. The only time a man doesn't listen to a woman, if that woman doesn't listen to the man. Again, energy exchanged. Because I am not going to give to you what you're not giving to me. No, it doesn't work like that in the real life or in the realm of everything. It doesn't work like that. Do unto others what you want others to do unto you. If I feel that you don't ever support any shit I do, I don't support whatever you do. You can be like, hey, how does this look? Good. Then you get the guy that is checked out. Because once a man checks out, I know women check out too, but once a man checks out, he's gone. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are. You can be Halle Berry. You can be Angelina Jolie. You can be Miss Universe. But as long as your character is all fucked up, you ain't shit. As long as your character is all fucked up, you ain't shit. You might have the greatest pussy in the world. You might go on America's Got the Best Pussy in the World and win that shit. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. He doesn't give a shit. You let somebody else deal with you. So, before we close, I'm going to go back to how we started. Your father is not the issue. Your mom is to blame. I know that's harsh, right? But that's the truth. Your mom is to blame because your mom holds the keys to the house. Your mom holds the keys to the kingdom. So if your mom is in the kingdom and the king is not there, then the blame has to go on someone. But usually the blame goes to the king. But no one ever questions the queen. But why? Because we have been put on earth to protect the queen. You see what I'm saying? That's the truth. We've been put on earth to protect the queen. But next time, you ask your mother, who was my father? And if she says, well, he was just a deadbeat XYZ, it's a lie. Tell her to get the bitterness out of her heart, the bitterness out of her tongue, and tell you the truth. And then, just in that moment, you might just find out that your father is the greatest thing you missed on this journey. Your father is the greatest thing you missed on this journey. If I were you, I'll find them. Be respectful when you meet them, because when you meet people like that, They still have baggages, and you can be the trigger to one of them, right? But I do believe that no man on earth will ever see their child and drive them away. I do believe that. I really deeply believe that. So next time when your mom tells you your dad is a piece of shit, your dad was a piece of shit, you say, no, I want to find out for myself. Because if you just believe everything, then you miss out on opportunities that open doors for you. For example, I was in Nashville, Tennessee one time, and I used to do caregiving. And I went to this man's house, and it's a white guy. I went to it's like a complex, like a senior home. And I get there, and one of the girls that is working there told me, "Hey, be careful, man. That guy is racist." And I was mad already because one, I'm in Tennessee. I've been told everybody in Tennessee is racist and shit. So I'm like, fuck. God damn it. Another thing I got to deal with. But in that moment, something told me, no, you don't have to believe her. Go out there and experience that guy. You be the judge that that man is racist. And people of the world, listen to me. That man was far from racist. Dude was far from racist. Like, dude would call me his brother. And every time I had him like Monday through Wednesday. And then every week. Every time I was going to leave, dude was like sad. His family loved me. He loved me. He introduced me to all his children. So at some point, somebody is going to have a bad experience. And when they have a bad experience with someone else, they want you to be the company to their misery. If you listen to somebody's story and they tell you how bad somebody is, it's okay. Listen to the story, but do not accept that that person is a bad person until that person is a bad person to you. And also, before you go to meet that person, you have to have an open mind and say, am I being biased and thinking this person is a bad person before he or she even opens their mouth? No, everybody has a different experience with everybody. That's the beauty of the world. And that beauty is that you get to meet people. Not everyone is going to treat me the same the way everyone is going to treat me. No. Even your parents, right? Your mom and dad have a favorite child, but they still do their best to treat you equally to that favorite child. It's not because they hate you. They just have a favorite child. They might lie to you and say, no, we love all you guys the same. It's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. Right? So, if you ever come across this message, if you find yourself in the wilderness and your father is not around and you've been programmed that your father is the problem, I want you to go to your mother and ask her, what did you do? And you get your answer.